Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a weekly track roundup, my thoughts, my feelings, my opinions on a bunch of tracks that have dropped over the past week or so. And they are linked down below so you can check them out for yourself, whether I loved them, hated them, or felt somewhere in between. Yeah, again, link down below so you can check them all out for yourselves. Also linked down below, of course, per usual, our Turntable Lab link. We get kickback from it, supports the channel if you use it to buy some stuff on the page or buy whatever on the website. Thank you. Also, our Patreon page, we get some extra bonus monthly content while you support us in the process through an affordable monthly tier. Also, access to our Discord community too. Try it out. Going on from there, our Shorts page, cool short form content getting uploaded there all the time. And without any further ado, the worst tracks of the week. There's a lot. Why are there so many this week? Some weeks there may be one. Some weeks there are pretty much none that I feel like talking about. But this time we have more than I would really like, honestly. We have this new one from Lil Yachty, who's decided to team up with Ian, one of the new big mediocre hopefuls in the rap world right now, whose sound and style is utterly generic and bankrupt of anything creative or interesting. Hate Me is the name of the track. I don't really know enough about either of these guys to hate them personally, but I can hate this mid-ass song, I'll say that, since the beat and flows and pretty much everything are underwhelming and boring about it. Moving on from there, we have a new one from Will Smith, who is teaming up with none other than Russ and Jaden on this new one over here, work of art. And I mean, sure, you could say it's a work of art, but that's really only because technically it is, and you can't really argue otherwise. Moving on from there, we have another single from Post Malone, "Guy for That." You know, Post Malone is full into his country era, and every single so far has been some of his worst music to date, and that is also true for this new one featuring Luke Combs. We also have Paris Hilton teaming up with none other than Meghan Trainor on a new track. God, Jason is the title. Why is this just like every terrible pop trope of the mid to late 2000s just being revived onto one single song? I don't want it. I don't need it. Also, what I don't need is MGK collaborating with Jelly Roll. Why? Please. Free me from this prison. And Gordo has recently put out a new record, and it features a track with Drake. Yeah, it's titled Healing. And it's got a boring, soulless dance beat, and Drake doing a few vocal lines here and there, barely filling up the space. It's whatever at the end of the day. All right, moving on from there. The tracks that were meh. The tracks that I was not crazy about, but they're fine. They're okay. You might like them more than me. Still worth shouting out. They are as follows. We have a new one from Karen O with Danger Mouse. Super Breath is the name of the song. Karen O's vocals are fine, but I think the kind of vintage vocal pop production, the more I listened to it, the more it kind of wore on me and felt a little, hokey, I suppose, in some way. But a new collaboration from these two, album-wise, will certainly be interesting to check out. All right, we also have a new one from JADE. Who I guess was a pop artist or a pop singer who was a part of the group Little Mix and is now doing some more solo stuff. Single that's kind of popping off on the internet right now, "Angel of My Dreams," and it's certainly experimental and quirky. Definitely more out there than anything you would expect for somebody connected to Little Mix, but with that being said, some of the lyrics are pretty awful, and I feel like I did kind of, want more from it at the end of the day. But I feel like JADE has definitely put a very bold and surprising foot forward with this new single, and it's most definitely got me curious as to what she'll follow this up with from here. That's for sure. All right, moving on from there, Halsey has come through with a version, sort of like an updated personal statement inspired by the classy, classy, classic Britney Spears song of the same title. And yeah, again, like, you know, more personal details, more updated, more sort of 2024. And yeah, you know, tastefully so. I mean, I will say I feel like something is left to be desired on the execution side, but you know, it was an ambitious undertaking doing a song like this. And, you know, it certainly came out a lot better than you know, what's the word I'm looking for? It could have been a lot worse, is what I'm saying. So, you know, it's a respectable sort of like you know, personalized version of the track that I thought was pretty interesting. All right, moving on from there, Gwen Stefani and Anderson .Paak, "Hello World," song for the Olympics. Yeah. It's very hooray, rah rah type vibe. Sounds like a car commercial, and maybe it'll land in a car commercial. We don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. All right. The best tracks of the week. We have a handful of those, actually quite a few of those. Let's burn through them. So, you know, you get some decent recommendations out of this video, starting with TOKiMONSTA, new single. It's got big house vibes, great vocal chops, awesome grooves. TOKiMONSTA is just completely smashing it on this new single with a great B-side featuring Cakes the Killa as well. That's very good. All right, SOPHIE. We have new posthumous SOPHIE tracks and singles. Again, two of them. This one over here that I'm pointing to, Berlin Nightmare, is kind of the more, you know, straightforward, aggressive, and in your face of the two. Awesome grooves. Just loving how sort of like dark and industrial it is on some level. If you're looking for some dance music with some edge, you're going to want to check this one out. All right, moving on from there. New EP from none other than Show Me the Body, Corpus 2. Handful of tracks on that one. Want to specifically point to the one featuring Zulu, Nation of Mind. If you're looking for some frickin' big breakdown riffs and great, fantastic, just blood-pumping vocals, you're going to want to check this out for sure. And, you know, once you listen to this song and enjoy it, because I know you will, because you're a bad boy. You love songs like this. You're going to want to check out the rest of the EP as well, because there are some other great tracks on there too. All right, moving on from there, Ravyn Lenae has seen fit to treat us to another single from her forthcoming album. This one features Childish Gambino. One Wish is the title, and I think it's got the strongest tune of the singles so far that have been released, and the Childish Gambino inclusion is really quality as well. So, you know, good vocal chemistry there. Also enjoying this new one from Pixies, miraculously. I've not enjoyed a new Pixies album or single in quite a long time, but this new one, Chicken over here, actually features solid songwriting, good lead vocals from Frank, and, you know, overall a kind of eerie indie rock vibe. Really liking it, really respecting it, and, you know, again, kind of surprised considering how surprisingly disappointing Pixies material has been in recent years. I feel like this track is really kind of picking things up in a good way. All right, moving on from there, young Nudy, who famously I'm not really a huge fan of most of the time, is sounding active and energetic and really hype, frankly, on this new cut with Metro Boomin. John Wayne is the title. It's badass, and yeah, just hyped up as hell. Really enjoying his performance here. Moving on from there, Long Dark Night, which is one of a couple tracks that has recently been dropped by none other than Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Wild God upcoming album, and again, we have a couple more teasers from it, Frogs, and again, Long Dark Night. I keep repeating myself, but I want to make sure that you guys are aware. 2 songs are out, and I think they're both quite good. Very lengthy, dramatic ballads that I would say are, you know, a little Bowie in tone at points, and certainly not in a bad way. And I also love that the cover art here matches my background and the lighting. Cool. All right, moving on from there, we have a new one from Navy Blue, who is hitting us with more abstract chops and very heady bars on this new one over here, Low Threshold, which I am liking quite a bit. Looking forward to his new album that is dropping this year on Def Jam. Also, Laura Marling has a new record on the way. First single from it, Patterns, enchanting singer-songwriter music. Great fingerpick guitars, a lot of lyrics about kind of, you know, generational connections and so on and so forth, likening that and using, you know, using metaphors for, like, you know, plant growth and so on and so forth, branches, that sort of thing. Yeah, it's a very moving personal cut that's quite beautiful and serene. I'll say that. All right, we also have one over here from none other than Gut Health, which is kind of an up-and-coming post-punk and noise rock and no-wave band that I've been enjoying some recent tracks from. Specifically, this one, Cool Moderator, which is jumpy, is dancey, is intense, is aggressive, and quite catchy too. Yeah, I mean, if that's kind of your vibe, and I know it's mine, you're going to want to give this one a shot. All right, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, giving us some real down and dirty backwater rock music on this new track over here, Hog Calling Contest. In a way, almost sounds like the kind of thing like John Fogerty would be over, you know, we're rocking by the bayou, but you know, that's not the kind of vocal approach King Gizzard are taking on it anyway. But yeah, you know, good rustic sort of a, you know, low down dirty rock and roll tune with a good tempo to it, moving at a good clip. We'll say that. But yes, Flight B741 on the way. Moving on from there, we have this Saturday Mornings track from Cordae featuring Lil Wayne that is quite lyrical, great soul chops on the beat, good energy and vibe all around. Really enjoying this one too. Also, a Killers of the Flower Moon, one of many very good tracks from Charley Crockett, country singer and songwriter, who has come through recently with like a part 2, a chapter 2 to his recently released $10 Cowboy album. I guess those sessions were so prolific he decided to kind of drop a follow-up album in the same year. And yes, if you guys are familiar with the recent Scorsese film, Charley pretty much you know, goes over the same historical tale. Look it up. It's a good, solid story-style country tune with great lead vocals and a solid instrumental too. All right, and finally we have Spirit of the BEEHIVE, who have come through with another quality single over here from their forthcoming album. It's a very surreal, kind of a experimental, weird, catchy but off-putting indie rock track with a lot of, you know, just strange ambiance around it. I've Been Evil is the name of the track, and yes, I very highly recommend it, along with everything else that was in the best section. I hope you guys got some good recommendations out of this video. You're the best. Mwah. Love you. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, weekly tracks forever.